There is nothing so absurd that it cannot be believed as truth if repeated often enough. A great many people think they are thinking when they are merely rearranging their prejudices. The act of being wise is the art of knowing what to overlook. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. We are like the islands in the sea, separate on the surface, but connected in the deep. The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. Nothing is so fatiguing as the eternal hanging on of an uncompleted task. Thoughts become perception. Perception becomes reality. Alter your thoughts, alter your reality. There is but one cause of human failure, and that is man's lack of faith in his true self. The greatest use of a life is to spend it for something that will outlast it. Acceptance of what has happened is the first step to overcoming the consequences of any misfortune. If you believe that feeling bad or worrying long enough will change a past or future event, then you are residing on another planet with a different reality system. The mind is made up by what it feeds upon. There is no more miserable human being than one in whom nothing is habitual but indecision. The deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. You may not get everything you dream about, but you will never get anything you don't dream about. Most unhappiness is caused because people listen to themselves instead of talking to themselves. The whole universe of concrete objects, as we know them, swims in a wider and higher universe of abstract ideas that lend it its significance. The whole drift of my education goes to persuade me that the world of our present consciousness is only one made out of many worlds of consciousness that exist. By being religious, we establish ourselves in possession of ultimate reality at the only points at which reality is given us to guard. Our responsible concern is with our private destiny, after all. The highest flights of charity, devotion, trust, patience, bravery, to which the wings of human nature have spread themselves, have been flown for religious ideals. There are two lives, the natural and the spiritual, and we must lose the one before we can participate in the other. The word divine shall mean only such a primal reality as the individual feels impelled to respond to solemnly and gravely. The theorizing mind tends always to the oversimplification of its materials. We need a kind of good that will not perish, a good in fact that flies beyond the goods of nature. Like every other instinctive eagerness and impulse, religion adds to life an enchantment which is not rationally or logically deducible from anything else. It does not follow, because our ancestors made so many errors of fact and mix them with their religion, that we should therefore leave off being religious at all. Human beings, by changing the inner attitudes of their minds, can change the outer aspects of their lives. Successful men act as though they have accomplished or are enjoying something. Soon, it becomes a reality. Everybody should do at least 2 things each day that he hates to do, just for practice. There can be no existence of evil as a force to the healthy-minded individual. Men habitually use only a small part of the power which they actually possess. The world is all the richer for having a devil in it, so as long as we keep our foot upon his neck. We are all ready to be savage in some cause. The difference between a good man and a bad one is the choice of the cause. Why should we think upon things that are lovely? Because thinking determines life. A winner's attitude, it may be difficult, but it's possible. A loser's attitude, it may be possible, but it's too difficult. Great emergencies and crises show us how much greater our vital resources are than we had supposed. Positive images of the future are a powerful and magnetic force. Success or failure depends more upon attitude than upon capacity. We forget that every good that is worth possessing must be paid for in strokes of daily effort. The sway of alcohol over mankind is unquestionably due to its power to stimulate the mystical faculties of human nature, usually crushed to earth by the cold facts and dry criticisms of the sober hour. There is no worse lie than a truth misunderstood by those who hear it. When a thing is new, people say it is not true. Later, when its truth becomes obvious, they say it is not important. Finally, when its importance cannot be denied, they say, anyway, it is not new. Give your dreams all you've got, and you'll be amazed at the energy that comes out of you. The soul is stronger than its surroundings. The minute a man ceases to grow, no matter what his years, that minute he begins to be old. Act, look, feel successful. Conduct yourself accordingly, and you will be amazed at the positive results. Be not afraid of life. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. All natural goods perish. Riches take wings. Fame is a breath. Love is a cheat. Youth and health and pleasure vanish. It is a common habit to blame life upon the environment. Environment modifies life, but does not govern life. Never suffer an exception to occur till the new habit is securely rooted in your life. Tell him to live by yes and no. Yes to everything good, no to everything bad. We have grown literally afraid to be poor. This life is worth living, we can say, since it is what we make it. Need and struggle are what excite and inspire us. Our hour of triumph is what brings the void. He who refuses to embrace a unique opportunity loses the prize as surely as if he had tried and failed. The best argument I know for an immortal life is the existence of a man who deserves one. Happiness comes as the capacity to feel deeply, to enjoy simply, to think freely, to risk life, to be needed, which give happiness. If this life be not a real fight, in which something is eternally gained for the universe by success, it is no better than a game of private theatricals, from which one may withdraw at will. It is only by risking our persons from one hour to another that we live at all. If merely feeling good could decide, drunkenness would be the supreme valid human experience. Wherever you are, it is your own friends who make your world. All the higher, more penetrating ideals are revolutionary. They present themselves far less in the guise of effects of past experience than in that of probable causes of future experience. The emotions aren't always immediately subject to reason, but they are always immediately subject to action. Mystical states cannot be sustained for long, except in rare instances. Half an hour, or at most an hour or two, seems to be the limit beyond which they fade into the light of common day. Our science is a drop, our ignorance a sea. The community stagnates without the impulse of the individual. The impulse dies away without the sympathy of the community. We don't laugh because we're happy. We're happy because we laugh. Philosophy is at once the most sublime and the most trivial of human pursuits. It is wrong always, everywhere, and for everyone to believe anything upon insufficient evidence. Common sense and a sense of humor are the same thing, moving at different speeds. A sense of humor is just common sense dancing. Facts are the bounds of human knowledge, set for it, not by it. Our belief at the beginning of a doubtful undertaking is the one thing that ensures the successful outcome of the venture. Genius, in truth, means little more than the faculty of perceiving in an unhabitual way. To know is one thing, and to know for certain that we know is another one. Every perception is an acquired perception.